Hi, good morning.
Good
Are you
morning,
here?
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, we'll continue. You know, what are the talk about to continuity, of previous classes of this emotional intelligence topic. So there are four important points we need to keep in mind. So if you are aware of that, if you know, if you study those four topics, it means entire theme, you'll be aware of that. So what are they? Self-awareness one, self-management one. First self-awareness and then management. Third, social awareness. Then not social management. No, when the social awareness after that, relationship management. So it's similar. Uh, Relationship means socially, we have to manage the relationship, right? So therefore, after social awareness, relationship management comes. So now third point, so yesterday we were shedding a lot of inputs on social awareness. These are all right, and how we have to improve, right? For basic prerequisite skill, for social awareness, because it's not that you only speak, you should also listen to, right? So the more listening skills you have, it is in intrinsic skill. It's not like you need to get a lot of training there. So mindset, you have to pay attention to someone, what is why he or she is telling, and don't ignore what somebody said, a challenge, a question, whatever it is. So the voice of others to be heard by ourselves, by yourself. And then in this context, generally, you should involve uh, taking some of the courses in communication. Communication means not just like English communication, right? So language courses, so somebody should be interested in language study, curious to know language information about any language for that matter, right? So passion is required, you know, to know any language for that matter. So don't think, if you learn more language, you lose your language. It's not like that. So I'll give one example. Suppose uh, in at early age, when you were a kid, suppose in school days, you learnt some languages in your hometown in India, and after your schooling, you went to abroad, right, for higher education, and then stayed there and settled there for many years, about many years, 30, 40 years. So while staying at abroad, so hardly, you speak your native tongues, native languages that you used to speak when you are in India. Then there's a gap here. And what happened all of a sudden after 30 or 40 years, there is some reasons, immediately you happen to come back to India, your place, right? So while you are in foreign, in abroad, there's no opportunity for you to speak in your local language, that is Indian language. And see, this is a gap. There are many years, 30 years gap, more than, suppose 30 years gap. As soon as you come back to India, and again enter into the same people, your local people, and will you which language do you prefer now to speak in the or to speak to these people? Tell me. Did you forget that language after a lot of gap, after many years?
No, sir.
No. The language cannot be forgotten. This is important aspect. Unless, if you read one book or your subject book, like chemistry, whatever it is, science, engineering, there is a chance for you to forget it. But the moment you learn language, even if it, you get lot of years gap, language will not go away from you. Like it's a skill, like when you learned, like in driving, swimming, a certain point of time in childhood, and for many years, you never had a practice, you never had a swimming or driving. It means, does it require for you to again learn? Not required, right? So when you acquire the skill stays with you forever, unless you are paralyzed, unless you know you are imbalanced mentally or physically. Are we together? Did you get my point? Right? So therefore, if somebody met accident and then he lost his consciousness and he lost his language also, you know, then for him, he needs to get from the beginning, right? Amnesia starts, forgetting. But if you're a normal, the skills, which you acquired at certain time, at certain point of time in the past, automatically, you can recall immediately, you can do practice with them. Therefore, language is also skill. It's not a difficult thing. Just you need practice, and then once it comes to you, it will be with you forever. With you forever. And the brain study says, cognitive studies says, the research in cognitive studies indicates that the more languages you speak, the more uh, you know uh, active your mind is. The broader the mind yours is. Look at that. Pay close attention to interactions with other people. Be aware of what they say, how they say it, and what they do after saying it. Observation is very, very important. What is important? Observation is very, very important. Identify other people's emotional states. Listen carefully to what they are saying and notice how they respond to external events, such as someone's greeting them, asking them to do something. No? Right? See, this is the gratefulness, respecting. Right? Not all people do same thing, right? For all the people, right? If somebody, I suppose, for example, you take my example. For you, anybody. Suppose if I greet someone, I may not greet the other person, right? I may only pick some people to greet. Am I able to, greet all the people, all the time? Right? This is a problem. So, what is the problem? If I greet whoever comes to me, whoever involves with me, right? In interaction. Don't have fixed mind. Some people have fixed mind. Okay, they're fixed. Okay, only concerned people, their boss, their, grateful people, they greet, these are all, the function of languages, they don't want to greet others, right? How? So attitude is a big problem here, different type of biasness some people show, to greet someone and not to greet other person. This is not good, especially in social aspects are concerned. Think about your feelings. How does the other person emotion make you feel? Obviously, this is observation, it comes through observation. Ask question, right? Think before you answer and give clear answers. Right? It's like silence. Yesterday we were talking about, right? Something. Silence also matters. You know? See, emotion is the ultimate spirit of human beings. Keep in mind. Keep this in mind. Entire, cultural aspects, entire knowledge, wisdom. We say, country's wisdom or social wisdom rests in the emotion. Emotions of human beings, and it carries from generation to generation. Right? And people, if they're disturbed emotionally, they can't control themselves. This is where, it is understood. The same formula. Now we're going to another topic. Now, relationship management. Now, yeah. Yes, anybody can come and read it.
Ability to use your awareness of your own emotions and those of others to manage interactions successfully. Managing relationship is much more than being friendly. It takes effort and intention and some more strategy to get the best from a situation and manage the way people respond.
Good. Yeah. So this is also an ability. Uh, now I used most of the time emotional awareness, emotional awareness, emotion. So far in the beginning, since beginning of this class, this topic, as far as our class is concerned. Now, to come to the straight away, most people, you might be confused. What is emotional? So how can we explain this? How can we, get his, to use what is exactly? I'm coming to the state, emotional awareness. Some people, have confusion here. Emotional awareness is some people think, okay, only emotions are feelings, right? They think. And in the beginning also I told you, with emotions only, intelligence also can be acquired. First emotions, then intelligence. As far as human sensibility is concerned. Now, what exactly this awareness? Awareness of moment to moment experience. This is it. Moment to moment experience. At present experience. Present, at all of a sudden. In terms of emotional response, in terms of feelings related, how you feel, how you behave, right? So don't connect it to the past or don't connect it to the future. Just take at present, suppose, today at what time you woke up and, you know, right? And immediately what you do, how you feel, when you wake up. Then all of a sudden you do some routine work, really routine work, quotidian work. Then sit in front of your PC, laptop, or mobile, and then start sitting somewhere in room and then listen to the classes. or now itself, what you are doing. So that is what you have to be aware of what you are doing. Don't forget it, okay. So sometimes you can recall and remember, so remember, so remember is not just like, knowledge, knowledge or information remembering, right? Right. So the poet, how poet remembers. I think you have had first year you had a course, right? Maninder Kapoor taught you how the poet remembers. Tell me something and writes, you know, something with pen. Can anybody say how poet? I think you had a poems also, right? In the paper in previous year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Did madam taught you, teach you how, poet uh, could able to, pen down something, right? When he poet or she or he, takes a pen and start writing something, right? By sitting one corner of, of one room, and then does he write? Does she write? No. He enters into imagination, imagination, or sometimes he goes to somewhere. If you look at Wordsworth, he goes to that, what is that, nature, river. Or John Keats, you look at, he sees the beauty in the things, and in the worldly things, gets into emotions, right? Then words come to his mind, then writes without grammar, but only words. Which are the words? Beautiful words, rhythmic words, melodious words, sweet words, we can say, emotional words, to put it simply, emotional words. Look at it, of all the knowledge in our world, the poetry knowledge is highest creative energy, right? Not all people can become poets, I know. But simply, if you read a poetry, a poem, you feel it's simple. But writing a poetry, that too, strong. If you read Tagore's Gitanjali, what a, grand, what a, the words of emotions, appeal, it appeals us emotionally. Therefore, I told you, the poet experience moment to moment of emotional world while enjoying it, by looking at the nature, trees, the river, you know, daffodils, nightingale, right? Ode to a Nightingale. Was there a poem? Have you remember in last year?
Yes.
See, right,
Yes, sir.
So what does it mean? You enter into emotions or not? The poet enters. In fact, we reader also, while reading a poem, should enter. Otherwise, with knowledge, some people, how do they read, poem? When I ask them to read, some students, sir, where is the meaning? Why should I get? How should I get meaning? Please tell me, summary of the poem. No, no. I told them I'll not give you a summary. I don't know the definition. I don't know the summary of the meaning. Your emotion, it is you, in yourself, emotion is there. It's not in me. Enjoy that emotions, moment to moment experience. Enjoy, whether sad, a disappointment, or enthusiasm, or optimism, pessimism. These are all emotional states, right? Am I right? Happiness. attention, or jealousy. Sometimes we say, enmity. So these are the world of emotions. And then bloodshed. Poet sometime poet remembers the dangers of war also war system. If you look at O. Henry poems, he's not a soldier. I know poet is not a soldier, right? But how can he write a poem on war? If people will laugh at, I know when I say this statement. This is what highest creativity. In fact, poet is not a soldier, but he can write a poem on the dangers of war, dangers of World War Second, World War First. There's no World War Third. I know. It cannot be. It should not be. Right? Are we together? Any confusion?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Tell me what confusion? No. So then when we experience ourselves moment to moment of our emotional status, emotional mind, whether it is optimism, pessimism, or happy or unhappy, disappointment, distraction, tension, mood out, chill moment, happiness, ecstasy. There are many things, delightfulness. With that world, creativity comes. Then our, the brain, right side of the brain, will be activated, and it supports IQ as well. Now look at another. Managing relationships is much more than being friendly. It takes effort and intention to get the best from a situation and manage the way people respond. Some people say, be friendly, be friendly, be friendly. More than that. Then what is this? More than that. Continuous effort. Positive intention. If somebody does even mistake, you get irritated, right? If you get anger, with somebody's effort, then have a positive intention, not to respond negatively, not to respond, not to outburst him or her, right? Then and based on the situation, it may go. Peace, that's also emotional status. Peace, shanti, we say, non-violence. Yes. Bringing the skills together. Look at see how he teaches, carefully. Recognize the mistakes, make it, repair it, modify it, if there is something, modify it. Show people they're important to you. Show them they're important for you. Right? Show them they're important for you. Now people are doing this right generally. Are they doing are all of them doing it properly or not? They never care about others, themselves care. And somebody give a lecture on the, okay, believe in yourself, don't care others, don't believe in others, this bloody lectures, then people are strict to themselves. That is a big problem, right? So now we have to change something. right? Emotions play a role in every interaction. This is very, very important. This is a quotation we can say. It is like saying. You know, emotions play a role in every interaction, right? Get my point?
Yes, sir.
So people, lack this thing. How do they gain? This is very, very because they never care about this. This is very, very important. So now it is your, and if you have the emotional touch with your interaction, you don't get tension, you don't get nervous, you don't get. Sometimes you get into comedy also. It doesn't matter, but you'll get confidence, right? So now, will you do practice with this? What kind of practice? When I say, you have to do this. What kind of practice? I said definition. I give the definition. Moment to moment experience. Listen carefully when I say something. Listen. Then anybody for that matter. Then enjoy. Moment to moment. Situation. Right? See, look at what happens when these opportunities are missed. You will be depressed, disappointed, distracted. You blame others all the time. What do? People start blame, you know, start blaming with, blaming all the time. You know, I know there are some people, who, who do games, with emotional things. Who play with emotions, with other emotions. Don't play, with other emotions, but respond, you know, to them emotionally. Don't play, this is very dangerous, right? There's no proof also, to justify people, play. What you to do? We should not play. Now, see, that's what I told it's not like one day, work, continuous work, not overnight process, it's continuous, So most important is building skills in the first three domains of emotional intelligence. Now this is very important, self-awareness, self-management, social awareness. If you invest something in these three, invest, what does it mean? Not money, time, effort, many things. Hard work. You'll enjoy. You'll get a lot of benefits. Awareness of your emotions. That's what self-awareness. And then self-management, being able to manage those emotions. Awareness of what other groups or individuals are feeling, and what's led to this, social awareness. Now what next? Don't do this all that, it's like exercise. practically, look at this picture is good, right? Okay, so how many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make note of something. That's what journal. Note, take notes when somebody says anything. Or nowadays, immediately you have phone also. You can enter something. You can type in your phone. Right? And next one, right side, on the top. What is it?
Listening carefully.
Carefully. One has to listen carefully. What is this 5 type of something? Passion. Below. What does it indicate? It's like flower, no? Right? It's flowering something. Passion, you have to nurture them. Then meditation. Right? I never did, meditation. You may do, but some people claim it supports, because I was different world, literature world. I read a lot of stories, poems. I enjoy a lot of emotional outburst, emotional passion in my reading. So therefore, I haven't gone through. And feedback is very, very important. Right? So it helps you to go for us in a proper direction. It helps you to what? Proper direction. See, these are the books, if you're interested further level, suppose not required, and based on these books inputs, this like a PPT is created. That's okay. Look at here, there is one quotation. Who reads this? Not the same one earlier. She had it. Now look at another. Go for another one. Somebody. Who else wants to go for reading? Come on. Ritu Kumari. Yes. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
It is very important to understand that emotional intelligence is not the opposite of intelligence. It is not the triumph of heart over head. It is the unique intersection of both.
Okay, fine. Uh, now this is what you know the emotional intelligence. Some people, emotion is different. It's opposite of you know uh, IQ, or it's intersect. It's it's like both of amalgamation. It's like connection, unique intersection. Of both. What are the both? heart and the head. Heart and the head. Feelings and the knowledge. Thought, yes, right. Yeah. Thoughts and feelings. So David Caruso, the book Emotional What. Look at here, generally, emotions, when I say the feelings, generally people connect it to heart, right? Not the mind, right? My heart. Look at poet, John Keats say, my heart etches something, He begins writing like this, my heart gets pain, and then moves to nature, looks for the solution for the nature. So, the symbol heart is given, and then brain is given. Then where do I, so this is a mix, right? Mix, intersect, what is, one is placing on the other, right? Other one is also connected to this one. So emotional intelligence topic is at last, after some classes, we'll be able to, we could able to cover, this topic. And if you have any questions, uh, feel free to ask. And this PPT, I'll forward, uh, after the class. And I also need to, send you two separate links, my 8 a.m. class already you have, and then 9:30 also. Once I sent, again I'll resend. I'll resend it soon. Then, no questions? Is it clear? The whole topic is clear?
Yes, sir.
So then let's stop here. In next class we'll come with new topic. Then see you in next class. You can leave.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir.